So, Rob, you surf, you skate, skateboard, you snowboard, you're a absolute waterman, you do the surf photography, but you've had all these back injuries and surgeries and hip surgeries. And how does this work? How do you do this? What's up, Rob?
What's happening, dude?
Doing good, man.
Yeah. It's good to be hanging. Thanks for doing this project with me, man.
Absolutely. You first told me about it. I was like, this sounds interesting. And then we started kind of sharing those stories back and forth about what will we do, what will we talk about. And now here we are. And I look forward to other people that we can bring in here that are going to share their stories.
We definitely are going to bring some other people in here and share their stories, man. It's not going to be all just about me, and it's not going to be all about my back, and it's not going to be all about me.
Okay.
So we're going to get some other people in here, man, and to diversify a little bit.
Okay. Well, shoot. You want to just jump right into it? You ready to jump right into it?
Let's get it.
Okay. Let's get this thing done. Dude, tell us about your back.
Okay, so it's a real long story. I'll put it kind of in a nutshell, and then maybe as we go throughout the history of the channel, I'll dissect it in upcoming episodes.
Yeah, no, sure. That sounds good.
Okay, so anyway, I was born with degenerative disc disease. Pretty common thing, you know. My dad had it, has it, whatever. He's had a couple back surgeries himself. So he's passed that along to me. And it's the kind of thing you don't really know you have until you've started having problems. And
Okay.
then the doctor's like, oh, you've got some degenerating discs and stuff going on over here, right? And you have what's called degenerative disc disease. So it's kind of how you
And when
find
did this
out.
start? How old were you when this started?
I never really had any back problems. And then all of a sudden, I just had this onset of back problems. But I was about 24 the first time. I had a little incident that started it.
Wow, that's really early, 24.
Yeah, I was super skinny. I just was real healthy and super athletic. Was just surfing all the time, constantly. So I was always in really, really good shape, but I was just super duper lean. And then a lot of my friends, especially my non-surfing buddies, were more bulked up, a little thicker. I felt a little kind of like, I want to bulk up like these guys. So around the age of 24, so I started lifting some weights, and I didn't really know what I was doing. My buddy Boo Boo and I were in the gym, and he was supposed to be spotting me, and I was doing some squats, with some barbell squats. And on my last one, when I really needed a spot, he wasn't there, so I twisted my back into it, kind of weird, and lifted it up, and I just felt something in my spine just pop. I was in instant pain, went kind of crawling out of there.
Ouch.
Not
That sounds bad.
not literally, but
No, I get it.
figuratively. I was in a lot of pain, so I went out of there. Um, and then just over time, it seemingly got better. I just was down and out for a couple weeks, a month, whatever it was, and it just progressively got better. So, fast forward a couple years, when I was, well, on my 28th birthday, I had my first back surgery ever.
Oh, Jesus.
So let's say around 26, 27, I started having some more back problems. And
What were these back problems like? I mean, quickly,
okay, so the initial,
you could spend hours on just what those were,
yeah,
but
the initial stuff. So I was living in Colorado, out there snowboarding full time, and just living that life. And all of a sudden, I started having really bad sciatica. Now that's a real common effect of when you have a bulge or herniated disc around the L5, S1 area. You're gonna get some sciatica going down your legs and whatnot. So I had that severely, drastically. It was excruciating pain, and it was a heavy experience, man. I was out in Colorado, didn't have any family out there. Just had a couple friends, and my buddy Sparkowitz was really taking good care of me, man. And I wasn't very mobile at the time. It took a minute to get in there and get like some epidurals or MRIs and go through the process before you could really uh, find any true relief or get to the butt of the problem. So as that happened, the doctor recommended. Well, I got a couple epidurals. Sorry, so he gave me an epidural or two.
Okay.
That helped out tremendously. Took the inflammation down, and all of a sudden, I didn't have the sciatica going down my leg anymore. And but they did recommend surgery for me because I had a herniated. Actually, at this point, I had a fragmented disc in my spine at L5S1.
Just the description of it sounds like it hurts. Sounds gnarly.
It was pretty painful. I'm not gonna lie. Um, so fast forward, I had the surgery out in Vail, Colorado. Um, it was pretty devastating, pretty serious, heavy thing for me to go through at the time. I was kind of, I was green and I was a rookie at the whole surgery thing compared to these days.
Right.
Serious veteran of that stuff. But so I had the surgery. It went kind of funky. My disc had been fragmented, so the doctor went in and did a microdiscectomy, which means they take out the little pieces of broken disc and broken bone that are floating around.
Okay.
So they proceeded to do this. He missed one of the pieces. So after the surgery, this isn't the short version, is it, huh? After the surgery, I was still in a bunch of pain. I went back in. He removed that disc. That's a whole long story. I went to physical therapy afterwards, recuperated,
You
and
can
recovered.
you can recuperate
I
if
can
you want.
recoverate, right? Okay.
Yeah, why
okay.
not?
Let's recoverate.
I'm notorious for making up new words.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And then it was just like back to normal, but I'd had my first back surgery. It actually was two back surgeries because I had to go back in for the little complication thing. I was back on the mountain, like, I don't know, I spent my summer in physical therapy and fishing creeks and lakes and streams and stuff out in Colorado. It was actually pretty amazing.
Yeah, that sounds rad right there.
It was dope.
That's like a great experience right there.
It was a great way to recover.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For sure. So, and then winter came around, and boom, I was back on the mountain snowboarding. I modified the way I snowboarded a little bit at that point, and but just got back on the hill. Was riding hard with the boys out in Colorado in the big mountains, and that was it. I spent the next 5 years there, and then I came home. I had an incident surfing, ended up being 3 hip surgeries from one wipeout surfing.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, the list goes on and on. We'll get into that later too,
Yeah, okay.
And then, but the biggie was, so I was 32, and the disc that I previously had operated on, L5S1, had now just basically disintegrated. It'd been like, I guess about 4 or 5 years of just going real hard, and that disc disintegrated. So I proceeded to check out surgical options, non-surgical options. You really look into all the alternatives. You don't just rush into surgery ever. Physical therapy, yoga, meditation. I mean, the meditation, it just,
Don't forget the herbs.
the herbs, always the herbs. It's a quite a process, dude. There's a lot that comes with it, man. So my back was really fucked up, and all I wanted to do was just be able to continue surfing and snowboarding.
Sure.
You
The
know,
loves.
at that point, you're not thankful just to be able to walk again. But once you have that taken from you, it's amazing how thankful you are just to be able to walk down the street, man.
I'm sure.
And so I looked into artificial discs. The research I did, the stuff that the questions and the lifestyle that I wanted to continue to live, it seemed like an artificial disc was going to be the answer. So this doctor um, really was a strong proponent. Is that the word I'm looking for? He was an advocate for the artificial
Sure.
disc.
There you go.
Strong advocate.
Yep.
So much so he pretty much sold me on the thing, you know. So it went like this. Yes, Rob, if you get this artificial disc, you will surf the best you've surfed for the rest of your life. And
Sounds like a dangerous sales pitch to
that's
me.
basically what he was telling me. And when you're in a desperate situation and someone tells you, you know, sometimes you just not thinking clearly and they tell you what you want to hear.
Sure.
And other surgical options were available, but this was like the super option. All right? And it was going to cost me some money because my insurance wouldn't pay for it. This particular surgical option, the artificial disc. So we came out of pocket for that. The whole thing turned into a nightmare. That's the documentary that they did on me. Still here. It talks about all that, you know.